Hey y'all guys, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is the Tavin Dillard podcast. You probably know that, but I don't want to assume anything. I don't want to assume that you've been here before and you just joining me again for another episode and you've been here all 7 seasons and now you're ready for the 12th episode of the 7th season. But if you are new here, I would say go back. You could pause this. We'll be here waiting on you. And you can go back to season 1s or season 2s or 3s or 4s, or you can start wherever you want to. The beginning might not be a bad place to start. A lot going on for sure. I sure am glad y'all joined me today. I got my turkey salmon shirt on today. And it's turkey salmon season. I got stickers too. I don't know if I have one here. For those of you that are watching and not just listening, I do have one here. Turkey salmon stickers. What I'm gonna do today, now these stickers, you might say, where do you put them? Well, where do you put your stickers? I don't know. If you a sticker person, you know. If you ain't a sticker person, this may not interest you, but water bottles, tackle boxes, I guess your car. I don't know where you put your stickers, but places for that. We got turkey salmon. I just got some new squirrel in a headlock stickers. Yeah, it's a fully mature peacock. It's the first art that I did since I met y'all guys. I did that very first, a fully mature peacock with a squirrel in a headlock. And that's on shirts. It's on a hoodie. Is it on a hoodie? Is it on a sweatshirt? I don't know. Maybe it ain't on a hoodie. But it is for sure on a shirt, and it's on a tank toppery. And now it's on stickers. And so I'm gonna put a link to the stickers because it went sticker crazy this last week. We got Early Bird Gets the Perm stickers. We got a combo pack that's got like one of each of them. The BO recipe, bacon only recipe, bacon sandwich. And we about to celebrate Bacon Week. I'm gonna get into that in just a second. And then there's a lot to talk about today. But the stickers will be in the show notes. So I just put a link to them and you could see that. I guess I'll just go ahead and let me talk about Bacon Week, and then I want to talk about my show that happened back on, when was that? August 19th, this Saturday night at the Henry County Fair in Paris, Tennessee. But Bacon Week. Okay, so Bacon Boise, y'all guys know that I got Tavin's Bacon Bag. I teamed up with Bacon Boise up there in Boise, Idaho. About a year ago, I was up there. I did a show, and we talked all about bacon. I was there in person for National Bacon Day. Well, it was really the show was the night before. It's a Friday night, but who cares? No, don't matter. No, how the point is, I was up there around that time. But this year, we doing something different for National Bacon Day. You like bacon? You ever had any bacon? Well, this is your chance. If you're like, I ain't never had bacon, maybe I should try it. Well, we giving away bacon next week. How, Tavin? Well, I'm going to put a link. Actually, it's this week. Yesterday was the first day because we already Tuesday, August 29th. So yesterday was the first giveaway. Today we giving away. Well, now what are we giving away? You got to check, but there's some days I'm giving away personal video greeting from me. So how you enter to win? Well, I'm going to put a link in the show notes today because it's live. It's live through Friday. Every day you can enter to win. It's either going to be a greeting or it's going to be a bag of bacon. This Friday, it's going to be a greeting and a bag of bacon you can win. So, I mean, that's a hoot of a time. So, I'm going to do that right now. I mean, the link is in the show notes right now. You can wait. If you at the shopping mall and you looking around for, I don't know, an Orange Julius or whatever. They used to have one of them at the outlet malls when I was a little tyke. But anyhow, at Tri-County Movieplex, they didn't have Orange Julius there. They had like a knockoff one. I forget what they called it. I think it was like a Orange Jonathan or something like that. Anyhow, what I'm saying is that if you look at the show notes today, when you're done with your shopping or your jogging or your lawn mowing or your walk or you're waiting in line for the grand opening of the, I don't know what's grand open. I'm trying to think. I was going to say, Uptown Gal, which is where Mort Dwight's wife works, but that's already open, and I don't think they put another women's clothing store right next to it. They got all kind of deals coming up. They already talking about Black Friday. Listen here, y'all guys. I'm all over the place, and I'm pretty excited. There's a lot to talk about today, but point is, we celebrating bacon this week. So when you get a chance, enter that. And then every day this week, I'm announcing the winners. Monday's winners already been announced. Today's Tuesday. They'll be announced probably by the end of the day. I don't know if I'm going to announce it tomorrow morning. Like yesterday's winner was, I'm still working on that, but don't matter no how. It's Bacon Week, and you can win, and there's a link to enter that. There's obviously a link to all them stickers I just mentioned. What else can there be a link to? Well, if you want to buy a bag of bacon and you don't want to just try to win it, I'll put a link to where you can just get yourself a bag of bacon, or for you or whoever. And then all them shirts. The Rachel Christine, this last week, I did the video on Thursday last week where you got to meet Rachel Christine. Yeah, she's in there. She's in the video. I took her for a walk. Memaw said she's having a bad day. Have take her for a walk, so I did. But I had to cut that walk short because it just got too creepy. It's just too weird. I think she blinked at me. But anyways, that video's up there. Appreciate y'all watching my videos and sharing them with folks. And I mean, that's been a hoot. You know, I'm still working here toward through the softball season. If you're waiting for an update today, we didn't have a game this week. But it looks like we're heading toward the playoffs with 8-6-2 records. So that's pretty exciting because the playoffs wins gets real. I mean, that's when the big boys come to play, as they say. So that's that. There was a talent show at the Nursin Home this week, and I was a judge for it, so I'll get to that in a little bit. Also, there is an arm wrestling match in the trailer park. I'll get to that in a little bit. Probably get to that first before I get to the talent show. But I was in Paris, Tennessee. So here's what you need to know about Paris, Tennessee. It was a hoot. Now I got there, and it was Saturday night, August 19th. It was in the commercial building at this fair. And my buddy Junior Stacks, boy, my nose is itchy. I don't know. I've done a lawn today already. Maybe it's just getting to me. But Junior was playing music in his commercial hall, and then he had me come up and do some comedy on that Saturday night where I'm just talking to y'all guys. I just had a story to tell. And folks, I tell you, I appreciate y'all coming out. I met Steve. Him and his wife was coming down from Ohio, and they was heading all the way to Florida, Naples, Florida. And they stopped in Paris, Tennessee at the county fair to holler at me. And it was great to meet them. I met folks from Indiana, and met his brother there from Alabama. And they met in the middle, came to the show. Appreciate it. People showed up. Early Bird Gets the Perm shirts, No Pro Fishing shirt I saw from my buddy there, Burger Shed shirt. Folks already showed up, you know, wearing their gear, ready to go. It was a hoot of a time. I met folks from Tennessee right there, Paris, Tennessee. I believe his name is Jason, came from Paragould, Arkansas, and his wife. And I tell you right now, he did a turkey salmon call for me. I called him up there, and he did a turkey salmon call. So, I mean, we had a hoot of a time. I really enjoyed it. I met Patsy and her daughter Brandy. Met another Brandy. Met another Patsy. Met a Mindy. I don't know. I can't remember everybody's name, so I don't want to leave people out, but I guess I probably am because I ain't naming everybody. But I appreciate all y'all coming out to my show. It was good to hear from y'all. Good to see you in person. There's one thing about the interwebs, but then there's a number two things about in-persons. And it's, you know, I ain't doing a lot of live shows right now, but when I do, it's good to see folks, you know, out there and saying, oh yeah, they real people out there really watching these videos and listening to the podcast and whatnot. So we had a hoot of a time together. And next show I do, you know, when I start promoting my next show or shows, I hope y'all, if you're close enough that you can make it. Now I know a lot of folks, you ain't nearly close to Tennessee. And I ain't mad at you, but we'll try to see if we can get more shows lined up closer to where you at. And if you want to host a show, like you got a venue or you think you might be able to figure something out, shoot me an email, and that's going to be in the show notes today too, tabandillard@gmail.com. And then, of course, you can always text me, 501-322-6249. So that's how we getting done. And if you on my text message, if you text me, then I'm texting out a link next week to most of y'all. That says, here's how you enter the bacon contest. So that'll go right to your, you know, your text messages if you already are texting me. So I'll try to keep y'all in the loop on that. Boy, ain't that a lot to talk about. And have we even started yet today? Well, I'm going to have to say, truth be told, no. You know what I was looking forward to this week was just getting out on a date with my gal Cricket. We was going to go to Bickham's All-You-Can-Eat Catfish Buffet, but I knowed I had to be a judge at the Nursin Home Talent Show before that. I told Cricket I would, and she's working anyway, so she's going to be there, so that's a win-win. But before that, I I guess you'd say, an arm wrestling match broke out in the trailer park. What happened was Cody Mantell was just coming by because, you know, I don't know if I told y'all, but Lindy Ray Mantell, she had that baby. She had that baby. They named him Trigger. He's a little boy. So they got Trigger Mantell, and of course they had their daughter, Daphne. Well, she home with that baby. You know, when you have a baby, and I ain't never had a baby, I ain't going to, but I'll tell you right now, I know when folks have babies, they just need a little time to, like, not do nothing but take care of that baby, just hang out. So she with that baby, and she need her rest, and that baby need to rest and all that stuff. So Cody took Daphne out, and they stopped by the trailer park, and he was, you know, we were talking about softball, talking about playoffs. Well, I got a pretty good card table, you know, that survived because, well, the last wrestling match, the good card table didn't survive because somebody wants to get on it, they want to top rope it, then they take the broken leg and want to whack somebody with it, and one thing leads to another, escalate real quickly. It escalates sorely quickly. Well, I got a good card table. It wasn't brand new. It was one I found down at the flea market. Jerry Don and Sybil Farnhart, they run that flea market. And so I just said, I wasn't trying to, you know, fish around for an arm wrestling or a wrestling match. I was just talking to Cody and just moving some stuff around my trailer. And he goes, hey, that's a good looking card table. And we got some folding chairs right there. I was like, yeah. He goes, let's do some arm wrestling. I'm like, well, Cody, I mean, I don't think that's going to be much competition. I got strength. Okay, here's the deal, y'all guys. I got biceps, tricep strength. I can drop a opposite field soft single like nobody's business in the adult softball league. But I ain't got strength to win arm wrestling contests. But of course, you know, I got to play the man and be like, well, at least I'm going to play. I might be out the first round, but I ain't going to sit it out. I ain't no baby. So Brett was there, my brother. Cody Mantell was there with Daphne. JT Whitlow's there. He lived in Chancellor Park. He lived across the way. He still wanted to do that zip line trailer to trailer, but I mean, it takes some work and some thought and a little more like blueprint drawing than he anticipated. But anyhow, Brody Childress was there. If you don't know Brody, I don't know where you've been. Him and his wife, Brandy, they got a Ford Windstar that they drive in. Their son, BW, wears cleats everywhere. They also got a Suzuki Sidekick and a 1986 two-tone Buick Century. So if they ain't living well, I don't know what is. Not to mention, but I will, Brandy Lynn Maker. Say it with me now. Brandy Lynn Maker. Get ready. Say it with me if you know it. On three. 1, 2, Brandy Lynn Maker, 3. Beautiful 3-bean salad. I mean, award-winning 3-bean salad. But that ain't not, all I'm saying is that Brody was hanging out by there. So we was all talking, like, let's go. So I'm like, fine. Well, Cody called me out basically first. So I get up there and I try to hold my own for a little bit, and he get me down, and then he getting cocky, and then I ain't quitting. There's one thing about me, I'm Tavin Dillard, I don't quit. So I ain't gonna just give up and say, okay, on to the next person. I'm like, boy, you about to earn this win if you gonna get it. And Cody earned it. He did earn it, but he won. Put me down. I'm like, fine. So now I'm over there just stretching out, kind of watching JT Whitlow get up there. Well, Cody's wiry, but I also wore him down a little bit, and JT just goes straight for it. I mean, he's like a one and done guy, and he goes boom, and Cody couldn't believe it. So now Cody's kind of mad, pacing around. Well, my brother Brett get in there, and Cody's standing right by the table. He's still mad, kind of that he lost, but he also know everybody know Brett. And my Brett will get in a fight quicker than anybody's business, but Cody Mantell, boy, fatherhood has softened him up a little bit, but I mean, he got that edge to him. I mean, it don't take much for him to just jump in the middle of something. He'll grab whatever is nearby and he'll use it as a weapon. So, you know, it's starting to get a little tense at this arm wrestling match. Well, my brother Brett's there, and my brother Brett ain't no stronger than me. So he's up there with JT Whitlow, who just whooped Cody Mantell, who whooped me. So you can see how this is going to go. Well, all of a sudden, Ricky Briggs is driving by in the trash truck. I guess it was a light day, or maybe he was just going back to the dump store or wherever they take the trash. I don't know. But he hop out, and he's like, hey, let me in on this. I said, well, JT and Brett are up next. Well, my brother Brett starts in on JT, and JT about ready to slam him down. And my brother Brett, with his free hand, take a swing at JT's jaw. Well, Cody Mantell's there, and he knowed all about it. He grabbed that hand so quick, he slammed, and he take my brother and just push him back ways off that folding chair onto the gravel. And then all of a sudden, it's on my brother Brett hop up, and he looked like he gonna fight. He ain't gonna fight. He turn and run tail, and he gone. And I ain't seen him since that day. He just kept running. I mean, he like Forrest Gumped it out of the trailer park there. And so everybody calmed down, and Daphne was screaming like her daddy was getting in a fight. And he's like, Daphne, calm down. Daddy didn't do nothing. Daddy protected his friend. And JT's like, thanks, Cody. I didn't see that one coming. He goes, well, I did, you know. So then JT needed somebody to arm wrestle, so Ricky Briggs got in there. Well, Ricky Briggs beat JT. I mean, he a trash man. He hauling trash cans all day long. He got strength. So, and he eat a lot of donuts too. He can put down a frittler. I mean, pretty good. Pretty good size. You know how goodly sized they are down at Donut Goes. And anyhow, so now we got Ricky Briggs. Well, who ain't gone yet? Brody Childers. Brody Childers get in there. Ricky take him down. And so we kind of done, you know, we start to, once Brett, you know, kind of ruined everything, kind of soured the arm wrestling just a little bit, and the police didn't have to come because he never ended up fighting. He didn't stay around long enough to stir up no trouble. So in the unofficial trailer park arm wrestling match, Ricky Briggs, the trash truck, his brother Cody's on our softball team. You know, he's helping us get to the playoffs this year. And I don't know, I mean, maybe next season we look into getting Ricky on our team. Boy, with powerful arm wrestling skills like that, he can probably knock it out the park. But it's good. You know, we had a good time when friends get together. And, you know, we were able to let Daphne know that, hey, you know, her daddy got good friends and they watch out for him and he watch out for them. And that's okay. You ain't got to scream when Brett tried to sock JT in the jaw, because he didn't get away with it. So anyhow, it's good. And, you know, word got out to Daphne and, you know, other folks in town about Memaw's baby doll collection. So Daphne's wondering if she could see, you know, Beatrice Gail Merton and Babs Gristle and Becky Thacker Haynes and Rachel Christine. And so I was like, well, let me see. It's a little earlier in the day. I don't know if Memaw's out of her morning moo-moo yet and got things ready to go, but I knocked on Memaw's door, and she don't like you. Just open it and let yourself in, but I'm family. And I said, Memaw. And she goes, what do you want? And I was like, there's a little gal out here. You know Cody and Linda Ray Mantell. She goes, I know them. They just had a little baby. I was like, they did, but they got their big girl, you know, Daphne. I know her. I was like, well, she'd like to see that baby doll collection. Well, Memaw just lights up. You know, you take interest in something somebody else is interested in, now they interested in you. She goes, well, have that little baby gal come on in here and take a look at these baby dolls. Now, don't touch, but just look. And honestly, Daphne couldn't even reach that shelf, the top shelf, you know, where them main baby dolls are. So that's how that went between, you know, Rachel Christine and Becky Thacker Haynes, Beatrice Gail Merton, Babs Gristle. And then they got Clive Bonwell, that's the little race car driver, and he's a peach farmer. She got him up there now too. So I don't know, you know, Memaw's working on her own thing. But boy, Daphne lit up. She really did like looking at them baby dolls. And Memaw got Rachel Christine's hair braided, and she been wanting to do that for a little bit. So she got that done. It looked real good, according to Daphne and Memaw. I mean, I look at it and I was like, oh, that's a baby doll. Still pretty creepy, but there you go. So they got to do that, but I had to get down to the nursing home to judge this talent show. Now, who are some of the entrants in this year's talent show? Well, let me give you the highlights. Now, I don't know what the judging is like. I don't know. You know, you're judge. Okay, I'll judge it. You know, I guess if you like it or not. You know, where's the talent kind of thing. And so here it is. So the first one, one of the highlights is Vera Gregory. Now you might know Vera Gregory. She in a wheelchair and she's still pretty spry though. And she had an idea. So I'll get to her talent in a second. And then Elmore Fisdale, he was next after her. And then we had Dewey Morton, which we all know. He's the original prankster. You don't know what you're going to get from him. Well, he did not disappoint today as far as surprises go. And then Doreen Fundle. And then I had to pick, you know, there's some other ones in there, but I ain't got time all day to give you everybody's talent. You could have come down there if you wanted to go to the Nursin Home Talent Show in the mess hall. But I get down there and Cricket's like, Tavin, you just sit over here like in the audience, and then you just keep little notes, and then all the judges will get together, which is me and Cricket and then Rusty Tidwell's wife that works down there. Was the three judges. So anyhow, who's the first one? Vera Gregory get up there. She got a Sweet Caroline track, Sweet Caroline Neil Diamond, and she got cymbals. You know them cymbals like you bang together? So loud. So loud. And we didn't know when to expect it, but she's up there and then all of a sudden, boom, she hit them. Now I think they make them cymbals with pads on them, and that may be something she look into because they can't do that again. I mean, she's scaring everybody. You don't know when it's going to happen. That ain't no way to live. You living on eggshells with Beer Gregory with a couple of cymbals, and it ain't about the beat, it ain't about the timing, it's about whenever she feel like it, boom, sweet Cara, boom, line kind of thing. It's too much, if you ask me. Elmore Fisdale, he's falling asleep, but then he kept waking up, boy. He's like, well, I don't want that man to have a heart attack. You know, he keep dozing off, and then he keep waking up to the cymbals, and then finally that thing ended, and we just kind of slipped them cymbals off of Beer Gregory's hands. I was like, hide them, Cricket. Hide them. Who in the world said that's okay? Ain't they got to clear their talent with somebody here? So, you know, when you first doing stuff, maybe you just ain't thought through all the rules and all the regulations that need to happen. But Beer Gregory, anyways, banged them cymbals to a Sweet Caroline track. Well, Elmore Fisdale's next, and he got sock puppets. And these sock puppets teach you how to balance your checkbook. So he got one over here on this hand and one over here on the other hand. He's like, hey, how's your bank account balance looking? Well, I don't have any idea how to balance my checkbook, so I don't know how it's looking. Well, do you mind if I show you some helpful tips to balance your checkbook? And then the other one's like, I don't mind at all. Now, I don't know what it is about these people in the nursing home playing two characters in their talent act, but Doreen Fundle did something like that too with a ventriloquist thing, but I'll get to that in a minute. So I guess that was all helpful. He used to be an accountant, you know, Elmore Fisdale, so he's good at what he's talking about. And the sock puppets, I guess, maybe make it more relatable if you relate better to sock puppets, because he didn't have googly eyes or mouths or hair glued on him. He just had two socks on his hand, and I don't even know if they was clean, truth be told. We started smelling something, and then halfway through he starts sniffing on his own sock, and then by the end he pulled the sock off his right hand, and it's just his hand making the motion, you know, like you do with a shadow puppet, but it's just his hand. And he's like, boy, this is real good information on how to balance my checkbook. And well, I'm happy to help, kind of thing. And so, I mean, it's real helpful if you didn't know how to do that. Was it a talent? I mean, I guess that's what he's good at. So Elmore sat down, and then Dewey Morton come up there. Now, I don't know. He's going to be a mime. You know about mimes? Well, a mime, they don't talk. They pretend like they stuck in a box and they can't get out, but they can really find them walls to that box. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a door in front. Boy, they found that doorknob. Now they're going to open it. That's what a mime do, right? Well, Dewey Morton somehow got a hold of one of them T-shirt guns where they shoot out them T-shirts like at baseball games and concerts, just fire them into the crowd, but he filled it full of hot dogs. Now, I don't know how all this happened. I don't know if Cricket knew that this was his, and if she thought, well, it don't work, it don't matter, it's just a prop, he's a mime, don't matter. But what I do know, without a doubt, is that Dewey Morton started firing raw hot dogs into the mess hall talent show at the nursing home, into the crowd. Folks got hit in the neck, folks got hit in the shoulder, somebody got hit in the leg, raw hot dogs all over the place. Elmore Fisdale reached down to eat it, and Cricket had to grab it out of his hand. Don't eat that raw hot dog off the floor, Elmore. So but he really wanted a hot dog. They had to figure that out later. That's another story. But anyhow, he's over there shooting them things. I mean, just letting that gun. Boy, he thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I don't know what any of that had to do with being a mime. Man, and finally, you know, once 4 or 5 hot dogs get hit in the, go into the crowd, we realize this ain't the show we want to see, kind of thing. And so by the end of the thing, I was like, well, I guess, it could be like a talent show, or it could be like, well, let's see what the nursing home residents have been hiding that we can collect, like they contraband, like them Beer Gregory symbols, they can't go back to her room. That T-shirt gun cannon, that can't go back to Dewey Morton's room. Boy, he thought it was funny. Oh, he was snickering and giggling and laughing and pointing at somebody's neck that he hit, with a raw hot dog, like, boy, I got you, kind of thing. I was like, okay, well, what do we got next then? Well, now we got Doreen Fundle want to be a ventriloquist. You know about ventriloquists? They talking, but they got something else next to them that pretended talking, and they both voices. Like she her own voice, and then the little dummy is his own voice. But she didn't have a ventriloquist dummy. She had Captain Thunderboots. That's Doreen Fundle's goldfish. She had it on a little stew. It was just sitting on a stew, and she goes, me and Captain Thunderboots is going to have a conversation. This is a comedy show. So she'd say something like, "How you doing, Captain Thunderboots?" And then she wouldn't even try to hide that her mouth was moving. You know, like a ventriloquist, they try to keep their lips real still so it don't look like the person that's talking is talking, but it looks like the dummy or that other person's talking. So, but she doesn't even do that. She just sitting there normal next to Captain Thunderboots on a stool, and she goes, "Hey, Captain Thunderboots, how you doing?" And then she goes, "I'm doing pretty good, Doreen, thank you." Like, same voice, not moving, moving her mouth just as much either way. And then she started on the jokes. She goes, "Well, Captain Thunderboots, I got diarrhea." I'm thinking, wait, Doreen, this is a family show. Come on. And then she just moving around. And Captain Thunderboots says, "Well," and Doreen says, "I got that, and I think it got passed down from my parents and my grandparents because they all had it too." And Captain Thunderboots says, "I don't think that's hereditary." Like that way. And then Doreen says, "Well, it's in my genes." And then she start laughing kind of thing. And that's it. And then she keep going on with all these jokes. I'm like, come on, Doreen. First, at least, that ain't an appropriate joke. And then two, you ain't even being a ventriloquist. The talent of being a ventriloquist is that you don't move your lips. And then we're supposed to believe that Captain Thunderboots sound like that, and he underwater, and he a fish. They got a lot. There's a lot we got to get through to believe that's happening. But folks was laughing. Doreen apparently brought the jokes. So that was a talent show, and I'm over there like, come on. Now, I'm supposed to judge the talent. Was it entertaining? I think you could probably argue that it was, but not unless you were the one that got hit with a hot dog. There ain't nothing funny about that. If he's handing out cooked hot dogs, oh, that's a different story. You're handing out different, a hot dog, maybe a fully cooked hot dog in the bun, and then you got your choice of mayonnaise or mustard. I don't put mayonnaise on a hot dog, though. Mustard, ketchup, relish, onions, sauerkraut, whatever, but that wasn't the case. It was just a raw hot dog. So that was the thing. Well, here's the deal. Elmore Fisdale, he took second place with that sock puppet balance your checkbook lesson kind of thing. So he got a stuffed lizard that had a shirt on it that said sunglasses and fun. I don't know what it means, and I don't know why that would be a second place at a Nursin Home Talent Show, but it sure was. And then Doreen Fundle took first place in the Nursin Home Talent Show, and she got a pair of banana slippers. They look like bananas, them old nanners, like a yeller one, not like something that Imogene Watkins would give you that's all black and spoilt. And I guess she can wear them. I don't know how her and Captain Thunderboots is going to share that, but I think we know that he just gets to get fed and go back to the room, and he probably didn't care nothing about that talent show. But I don't know. I don't really talk to Captain Thunderboots. I just seen him in there. So that was that. We got that cleaned up. We thought we had the whole thing, and then there's another raw hot dog in the corner. That gun had some real good distance on it. The reason a lot of them hot dogs didn't fly any farther is because they hit people, hit tables, and that kind of thing. So we cleaned up there, and then Cricket and I was off to Bickup's. We had the day that all-you-can-eat catfish buffet, and that's a beautiful thing because you ain't got to worry if you can get more if you ate what was on your plate. You just look back over there. Now, if there's a line, you get a little nervous, like, oh boy, day after my food. I done paid for that food. I got to get it back up there. But I had your standards, fried catfish. That's what Cricket had too. It's good catfish. I had fried okra. I had hush puppies. I got some green beans. I skipped the slaw. I didn't go for the salad tonight. None of that stuff. I skipped the orange jello. I just went straight for the main stuff. They did have some hot nanner pudding, but I skipped that because the ice cream machine was working. Got a little soft serve with hot fudge. I know. Sweet tea to drink. So it was a good day. Cricket and I were just catching up. She's thanking me for helping her out the nursing home. I was like, Cricket, don't even mention it. I like spending time with you, and I like judging a talent show. Now, I don't know how much talent was there, but I think we all had a good time. Now, Dewey Morton, he needs a talking to because you can't shoot people with a hot dog gun. But somehow he did. Somehow he did. But anyhow, we had a good time. I went back down. And next week, we're already looking at Team Burger Shed for the playoffs because we had a decent enough season to where it's go time, y'all guys. So that I told you in the show notes today, there's obviously how to enter Bacon Week to win free bacon and free personal greetings from me. Please do that. And then obviously you got the how to contact me, email and the phone number. But then also, if you look at that merch, the t-shirts and stuff, there's the Team Burger Shed 2023 shirt, and we heading into the playoffs. And the more support we can get, the better it is. And we got the team roster on the back. I mean, that's all of us on there, name and everything. I think I just put our last name, like T. Dillard, but you had to, that's Tabin, kind of thing. J. Whitlow, well, that's JT. I know I could have added one more letter, but, I just wanted to keep it the same. And so that's how that goes. And also, I don't have it with me, it's in my refrigerator, but I got a note here from my buddy Clay Newcomb. He got his own podcast, the Bear Grease podcast. You may have heard that. He said, I hope you like apple butter. And he dropped off a jar of apple butter for me from the Newcomb farm. So Clay, thanks for the apple butter. I done had some, and it's delightful. I mean, strength for my haunches. I put it on a little bit of toast. That's what I did. I know you can put it on biscuits, but when it came in, it was later in the day when it got dropped off, and I was like, well, I ain't got no biscuits cooked right now, but I got some toast. So Clay, thanks for the apple butter. I just put it like that away. And anyways, we had a lot going on. We getting ready. We getting focused for the playoffs. Now I think looking back on the arm wrestling thing in Chancellor Park, me, Cody, JT, Brody all have something in common. We on Team Burger Shed, and we didn't play this week, but we came together as a team. And we had a good time doing the arm wrestling. Cody protected JT from my brother Brett swinging. It might have not hurt him, but you still don't want to get hit in the face, even if it's with a cold hot dog, the way I look at it. So I appreciate y'all joining me this week. I figured out the Spotify. Folks that is leaving comments, I seeing it now. And I posted one of them comments in my stories on the Instagrams. Instagrams is really the place where a lot of my news, and it comes out in the stories over there. Text message, I try to keep people updated there. Little bit of Facebooking, you get some of the information. Not much on the TikTok other than just the videos every week. So Rachel Christine did end up on the TikTok, and same with the YouTubes. I mean, you got this here. If you listening and watching the podcast episode, you can see me. I'm wearing my turkey salmon shirt. I got my new Donuts hat shirt on. No, it's not a hat shirt. It's a Donuts hat. It's a turkey salmon shirt. But it's all in the link in the show notes today. So I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate you sharing. And I appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think of this podcast. More folks reached out this week after I asked last week, hey, well, what do y'all think? Through the email and text. I appreciate y'all. I saw that, and thank you for it. I think I got to just, get ready for the rest of this work day. But I will say, hey, if you ain't been hitting the neck with a t-shirt gun at a Nursin Home Talent Show that's firing raw hot dogs this week, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tabin Dillard. This is the Tabin Dillard Podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.